Hello everyone, Bobster1984 back again to do a quick video on me reaction and thoughts to the two managerial casualties yesterday in the Premier League. Now, if you're a Newcastle United fan like I am, you expect this to happen every year. Sunderland, traditionally, not having a pop at Sunderland, always have start off a season pretty poorly. We always tend to play them about 10 games in, and for the past few derbies it's not every single derby, but it's happened in a few cases where a couple of games before the derby manager goes or is sacked and they always end up getting a new manager. The second game in charge is always against us, and obviously with the recent history in the time we had derby, they always win. So my thoughts on Advocaat resigning are a little bit mixed. To be honest, I mean, I know they've had a pretty poor start to the season, and as I say, I'm a Newcastle fan. I'm not having a pop with Sunderland here. I'm just saying my opinions as always. They've had a pretty poor start to the season, but I didn't expect him to walk away. I know he's had like these battles with the board over the summer about signings and money, but you know, I didn't expect him to walk away. I know from reading comments on forums and stuff that a lot of Sunderland fans don't really seem to be very pleased that he's gone. However, looking at some of the names that have been mentioned, you know, you got Brendan Rodgers, who I'll get onto in a minute. I believe he was 10-3 the last time I looked at the odds. You know, there's some good names in the hat for the job, but it just, as a Newcastle fan, it just means that, you know, obviously we've had an equally terrible start of the season. You know, we've got that derby in a couple of weeks, and well, not in 3 weeks, 2 games time, and you know, now you're going to be thinking as a Newcastle fan, fuck, another defeat. But anyway, what are your thoughts, Sunderland fans, if any Sunderland fans do watch this channel? What are your thoughts on Advocaat resigning? I know he'd hinted all last week that he was going to do it, or he had made his mind up about his future, but was it a bit of a shock? I mean, I know I didn't watch your game on Saturday, but you did play well from what I've seen, especially in the first half. Could have been 3, I believe. Barini had a glorious chance when he was 2-0 up. Could it have been more? I mean, but I mean, to give it away, to give the 2-goal lead away, I mean, obviously, you know, there's pressure there, but what do you think? I mean, personally, I'm only bothered about my side, obviously, and I'm bothered about the fact that, looking at recent history, you change your manager, you play us 2 games later and you win. So I don't want that to happen again. Moving on to the other one, which I was a bit shocked at, and that's Brendan Rodgers getting the push yesterday after getting a 1-1 draw in the Merseyside derby. Now, I'm not a huge not a huge fan of Liverpool. I never have been. But a couple of years ago, obviously, when they were going for the title, they were playing probably the most attractive football in the Premier League, and it was that typical going back to the Keegan-esque days of Newcastle. You know, if they score 3, we'll score 4. A lot of the games were goal fests, and that's because they had Suarez. Daniel Sturridge was on fire as well. And then obviously that summer, Suarez left. Sturridge has obviously had a lot of injuries since. But I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, if he's watching like your Sunderland fans, you know, Rodgers has made some absolutely horrific signings. He spent a lot of money in the last 2 transfer windows in the summers. And what have you got to show for it? Absolutely bollocks all. So I was shocked, but when you look at the facts on paper and you think about it, it's not that much of a shocking decision. I do think Rodgers will walk into another job, because I think he's a good manager. He did really well at Swansea, and you know, obviously he's had some success at Liverpool. He hasn't won anything, but you know, he got them in the Champions League when they had spent a couple of years of mediocrity. But that's the problem with Liverpool, in my opinion, is yes, you are a big club in terms of history, but in recent history, you're not a big club. And don't give us any shite about me being a Newcastle fan and saying, you know, how can you think you're a big club? I'm not saying for any second that Newcastle are a big club. I'm just pointing out my opinions on Liverpool. That's all I'm doing here. So if I get any comments whining, then let's set the record straight. But I mean, there's talk about Ancelotti and Klopp, and I know obviously they probably will get someone like that. But when you're a manager like Klopp, who did extremely well with Dortmund, and Ancelotti, who's won everything, you look at Liverpool and you think, am I going to win anything at that club? And ask yourself that question: Is that the actual reality of the situation, that Liverpool aren't going to win anything? The squad they've got, I'm sorry, the signings that Rodgers made were so mediocre, it's unreal. Probably the best signing he's made. I'm going to stick my neck out and probably say Coutinho. But defenders, they're shocking. I mean, they spent so much money on Lallana and Lovren from Southampton, and they've been poor for Liverpool. I mean, I don't watch all the Liverpool games, obviously, but do Liverpool fans agree with that? I mean, are you happy with the signings, or are you disappointed? Like, Balotelli, I mean, it's obviously come out recently since he left that he knew that he was making a mistake with doing it, but he signed him. 16.5 million on Balotelli. I'm sorry, but the guy's a liability. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't too shocked that he went. Maybe I was a little bit shocked at the decision to do it on the day of the derby. But as I say, I think Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, and he will walk into another team. Probably not a great, a top 4 team, but he will go into another maybe mid-level team, and he'll do well. He'll have a good career. But I mean, like I say, I just wanted to give me thoughts. I'm going to try and do more of these videos on other Premier League teams. I'm not just going to focus on mine. So it is going to branch out to a lot of other teams as well, and maybe we'll see how those go. But like I said, I just want to give me thoughts and opinions on the 2 casualties yesterday in the Premier League, and obviously the ramifications with the Sunderland one for me being a Newcastle fan. But yeah, like the video, subscribe, and I will be doing more of these in the future. So keep an eye out, and I'll see you later.